Take a look at this image. You might think it's a photo of a faraway galaxy or maybe a nebula caught in Earth's atmosphere. But in fact, you're looking at a microscopic sample of lichen growing in a lab. In reality, the universe is so vast that if you compare it to a soccer ball, then Earth would be smaller than a pinhead. And yet we are utterly convinced that our planet is the only one with life. Are we really so special? It's hard for us to comprehend the actual scale of the universe. If you travel at the speed of light, it would take you over 4 minutes to cross our solar system. At this speed, you'd pass by Pluto in just over 3 hours and reach the nearest star in 4 years. However, even if you traveled at 30% the speed of light, which is still unimaginably fast, it would take you almost 70,000 years to get to Proxima Centauri. So no interstellar hitchhiking anytime soon. But even within our own solar system, there are worlds beyond our wildest dreams. Take Jupiter's moon Europa, for example. Scientists believe it has a vast ocean beneath its icy surface. Could there be life on such moons? And what about planets around other stars? Is it possible for life to arise elsewhere in the universe? Welcome to our channel. And today we'll be answering the extraordinary. Could life have arisen elsewhere? In our quest to understand our place in the universe, we've long wondered whether we're truly alone. This question has driven scientists, philosophers, and science fiction writers alike to ponder the existence of extraterrestrial life. The sheer size of the universe makes the idea of Earth being the only planet with life seem highly unlikely. And yet, despite numerous searches, we haven't found any definitive proof of life elsewhere. The Drake equation was developed by the famous astronomer Frank Drake in 1961 as a way to estimate the number of civilizations in our galaxy with which communication might be possible. It takes into account the rate of star formation, the fraction of stars that have planets, the number of planets suitable for life, the fraction of planets where life actually arises, the fraction of those species that become technological, and finally, the length of time for which such civilizations might be detectable. Even conservative estimates of the various factors involved in Drake's equation suggest that there should be at least several dozen civilizations in our galaxy with which we could communicate. And yet so far we've found none. One of the main reasons we haven't found alien life yet is that our technology is simply not advanced enough. The distances involved in space are so vast that even if we were to discover a civilization capable of interstellar communication, the time it would take for the message to reach us could be thousands or even millions of years. Take the Voyager 1 probe, for example, which has been traveling away from Earth at a speed of about 13 kilometers per second since 1977. In 45 years, it has covered a distance of only 15 billion kilometers, less than 0.1% of the distance to Proxima Centauri. Another reason why we haven't found alien life yet is that the conditions for life may be so specific that Earth is truly unique. For example, our planet is located in the habitable zone of the solar system, where temperatures are just right for liquid water to exist, which is essential for life as we know it. Additionally, Earth's atmosphere contains a significant amount of oxygen, which is also necessary for the survival of most life forms. Furthermore, Earth has a magnetic field that protects it from harmful cosmic radiation. And it's surrounded by a protective ozone layer that filters out the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays. Finally, Earth is constantly bombarded with organic molecules from outer space, which may have played a role in the origin of life on our planet. All of these factors may be so rare that it's unlikely they would occur elsewhere in the universe. But here's the thing, we don't actually need to find life elsewhere to answer the question. Could life have arisen elsewhere? All we need is evidence that the building blocks of life are common in the universe. And we're starting to find just that. Organic molecules, which are the basis for life as we know it, have been found all over the solar system and beyond. They've been discovered in meteorites that have fallen to Earth, in gas clouds surrounding stars, and in the dust on comets. These molecules include amino acids, which are the building blocks of proteins, and nucleobases, which form the building blocks of DNA and RNA. But it's not just molecules that are important. Conditions on other planets and moons within our solar system may also be conducive to life. Take Europa, for example. Beneath its icy surface, scientists believe there's a vast ocean of liquid water that could potentially support life. In fact, it's estimated that Europa's ocean may contain more water than all of the water on Earth. Additionally, Saturn's moon Titan has a dense atmosphere and a surface that's mostly made of rock and ice. It also has lakes, rivers, and a complex climate. While the conditions on Titan are very different from those on Earth, they may still support some forms of life. But it's not just within our solar system that we're finding potential signs of life. In recent years, scientists have discovered thousands of exoplanets, planets that orbit stars outside of our solar system. Some of these exoplanets are located in the habitable zone of their star and could potentially support life. And it's not just planets that could harbor life. Scientists have also discovered evidence of life elsewhere in the universe. For example, in 2014, researchers announced the discovery of phosphine gas in Venus's atmosphere. Phosphine is often associated with life on Earth, as it's only produced by living things such as bacteria. However, other scientists have argued that the presence of phosphine doesn't necessarily mean that there's life on Venus. There are other possible explanations, such as the breakdown of other chemicals in the atmosphere. But the discovery of phosphine nevertheless suggests that Venus could potentially support life. Despite all these tantalizing clues, we still haven't found definitive proof of life elsewhere in the universe. And it's possible that we never will. There are many theories about why we haven't found alien life yet. One popular theory is the Great Filter. This theory suggests that there's some barrier that prevents species from becoming like us or further. For example, there may be some natural disaster, such as a supernova explosion, that prevents species from developing the technology needed to communicate across the galaxy. Or there may be some other limitation, such as a lack of available resources or energy. Another theory is the rare Earth hypothesis, which argues that the conditions that led to life on Earth are so rare that it's unlikely they would occur elsewhere in the universe. This hypothesis is supported by the fact that we haven't found any clear evidence of life on planets or moons within our own solar system, even though we've explored them extensively with spacecraft. There are some who argue that life can arise anywhere and everywhere. They point to the fact that organic molecules, the building blocks of life, have been found throughout the universe, suggesting that they are common and not unique to Earth. They also argue that conditions for life may not be as specific as we think. For example, there may be other forms of life that don't require water or oxygen, but can survive in environments that we consider inhospitable. Ultimately, the question of whether life could have arisen elsewhere is one that we may never be able to answer definitively. We may never find clear evidence of life elsewhere in the universe, or we may find evidence that life is common and abundant. Whatever the case may be, the search for life elsewhere is an exciting and rapidly developing area of scientific research. As technology advances and we learn more about the universe around us, we may find that we're not alone. So what do you think? Do you believe there's life elsewhere in the universe? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.